Hello everyone, my name is Aisha Javed and the topic that I've chosen for my presentation is the causes of delaying dam construction in Pakistan and suggestions to revert this loss. So I'll just share the presentation. So yeah, so dams as we all know are barriers. They are either man-made or naturally constructed that impound or divert the flow of water. Uh, it provides a lot of benefits. It can be economical, uh, social, environmental, such as the main benefit being water storage and water supply. So, first of all, they provide water supply, whether it's for domestic use, industrial use, or agricultural use. The dams are designed in a way that they store whatever rainfall there is throughout the year, and so that there's a supply even when it's dry, when there are like drier periods of the year. So, water in dams also feed hydroelectric power. That is done by using energy from falling water to drive water turbines that in turn drive electric generators. Then it also helps with flood control. They prevent the loss of life and property and whatever is caused by heavy flooding. And they do this by storing, like catching whatever whenever there's heavy rain for a number of days and the water level rises dramatically. So, and it can cause damage to property. So, in this case, dams control the amount of water flowing in a river after heavy rain. Then dams also provide water for irrigation and in order to grow crops. This is how irrigation takes place in parts of the world uh, where it does not rain that much, and irrigation water can be stored in dams. And then, whenever there's rainy season, and then in the dry seasons, it can be released and distributed over the land through a system of canals. Then, in Pakistan, the only dams that were built were Tarbela and Mangla Dam. Like the only big projects that were like that took place at that time. Since then, no focus has been given to this, like dam building area, despite the fact that the situation we're in a water crisis, and there's not that is nothing but alarming. So even the Indus River System Authority has reported that the country wastes about $21 billion worth of water every year just because it does not have proper storage facilities. And it has also recommended that, considering the current condition of Pakistan, we need to have uh, around like three dams. We need three dams the size of the Mangla Dam to store this extra water. So, but before this, let's talk about the history of dams. So, most dams in Pakistani history were built during a period of 15 years from 1960 to 1975. And some of them are the Rela Dam, Mangla Dam, Hub Dam, Kanpur Dam. And there aren't enough dams in Pakistan. In fact, the only dams like that we all only know about, I think we all know about Mangla and the Rela Dam only, like that's dams that I knew about. So the Tarbela Dam, it is the largest earth-filled dam in the world. It's located in KPK, and the project, it began in 1960 and it was completed in 1976. It is Pakistan's primary source of hydroelectric power, and it alone produces 5,000 megawatts of electricity. Then comes Mangla Dam, which is the largest water reservoir in Pakistan. It's located in the Mirpur district of Azad, Jammu and Kashmir, and its construction began in 1961 and ended in 1967. Then most of you would have heard about the Army Bhasha Dam project plan, which was undertaken for power generation as well as providing water storage facilities. However, the project drew controversy because of its location in Gilgit-Baltistan, which is a disputed territory between India and Pakistan. And due to this, India voiced its concern with Pakistan, China, and other countries that were planning to fund for this project. And so this is what happened. And So what's been happening recently is that since the opposition from India and also not having enough funds, since its target was $14 billion, and even after the crowdfunding project, like the crowdfunding campaign, it only was able to collect 12 billion Pakistani rupees, whereas it needs 14 billion US dollars. So, but what has been happening recently is that China finally stepped in and helped the government with, by signing a contract with China Power, and it's during its construction, the project is expected to create 16,550 jobs for the unemployed and also for the local population, as well as generate a large demand for cement and steel, which will also stimulate economic growth. Then this graph here on the left, it shows the actual versus predicted benefits of the Irvela Dam. As you can see, that what was initially predicted, the benefits that were initially predicted, they are way less than what benefits the Turbela Dam actually gave to Pakistan. And this is just another example of how important dams are and how much Pakistan is in dire need of it. Then this shows the status of dams in Pakistan, and as you can see that Darbela is like the Darbela Dam. It produces highest electricity and everything, and it differs like the numbers of Darbela and Mangla differ a lot from the rest of the dams in the chart. So then let's talk about the reasons why dam construction in Pakistan is delayed, despite knowing the benefits that come with building dams. So the first one, as we all know, and we all would have guessed anyways, is lack of funding or lack of financial assistance. Sometimes even it happens that the constructions of dams are paused in between because they do not have enough funds to carry out the project. So it just like comes to a stop and that's it. Like nothing happens after that. Then the second one is particularly for the Amir Pasha Dam. Like I discussed earlier, that its construction was delayed because international like India was able to convince international lenders to not lend any money, and they eventually pulled out of the project after India objected to the location of the dams. Then also there is lack of experience and skills, like when it comes to the planners or where, like the consultants for building the dam. And I think this is then we can like this point, the absence of political will. This is something that we all can agree upon. That there's a lot of negligence on the government's part, as dams are more of long-term goals, and they have long-term benefits. So nobody really, you know, does anything for it because they're only looking for something that can give them short-term goals and benefits. So they're sidelined, and the project that give immediate political benefits are given priority. Then there are natural disasters such as floods and heavy rain that pause the construction of dams. And like I mentioned earlier, there is there's lack of experience and skills in the labor that is used. And since the projects are usually in hilly or remote areas, there are not enough. There's not like the availability of skilled labor, which further results in delay in dam construction in Pakistan. So after that, we know the importance of dams in Pakistan, and we also know what's stopping us from building dams or what's delaying the construction of dams. Um, so let's see what's possible. Like, what are the possible measures that the country can take to revert this loss? So first of all, the most obvious one is that emergency needs to be declared for building dams, and the like building dams should be given priority one, given the increasing population, the increasing, and like with the increasing population comes increasing demand for energy and water. So so now as whatever like, for example, um, whatever was stopping them earlier, for example, the Amir Pasha Dam, its construction was stopped because it does not have enough funding, but now that's not a problem anymore. So, like the construction process should just start immediately, and there should nothing like we should not wait for something else to stop us. And then before starting the projects, we need to make sure that we have all the resources, all the funding that we need before it comes like it stops in the middle again. And everyone should talk about like sit and discuss like all the planners, all the engineers, and everyone should just sit down for once and just talk about all the like discuss even the resources and the funds that are needed and that should be approved and allocated at the start of the project. So like that would we would really dodge a bullet if we do this. So and after that, it's also very important that whatever contractors or engineers and like whatever the rest of the management is, they all should be skilled and well experienced because dam building like these projects are really huge and complicated, so they should be handled with those skills. And then there should be like as there are technological advances that are taking place, so those need to be incorporated into the decision making so that the dam building process can be speeded up. And then whatever there's to learn about the site construction, whatever the risks there are due to the geographical condition or whatever, then all that should be discussed before uh, the dam building takes place. So this is just the conclusion that currently the biggest issue of Pakistan that Pakistan is facing is of the water crisis and the consequent electricity shortage. And dams are thought to be the only solution to this, and it's high time that concerned authorities uh, they realize the situation and they realize the sensitivity of the situation and they take control as soon as possible. And before there's nothing that we can do about it, so just sitting around and pointing, like even when I was researching about these dams and what are the key causes, then everyone could just like name causes left and right, and everyone like they were really good at the research and they were really good at pointing out whatever the problems were, but what are we actually doing, like not just the government but also what as Pakistanis it's um, what are we doing as Pakistanis? Like, we also like it's just not the government's responsibility; it's also our responsibility. So, just sitting around and pointing out issues is not going to make a difference unless we actually do something about it. And yeah, we cannot afford to show any more negligence because we really have already suffered a lot of like enough loss, more than enough loss. So yeah, this brings me to the end of my presentation. Hope you people liked it. Thank you.